What you didn't know about the WNBA is that they only have 12 teams. So during the regular season, it was like, I feel like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are playing literally every night. And it's like, yeah, they're playing almost every single night. There's only 6 games on a given night in the WNBA, so it's hard to push that product because we're literally seeing the same games every single time. The talent in the WNBA is great. There's a lot of young stars coming up from college every year, like Juju Watkins and Paige Bookers, but the game's not going to grow until they actually have more teams and they invest money to expand the league. Once the league expands, it's going to be easier for people to watch the games and enjoy it because there's going to be more matchups, there's going to be bigger teams and better situations. But right now, the entire league is just way too small. I mean, there's only 12 teams total. How exciting can that really get? The WNBA is going to push the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese narrative for as long as time goes on because it's one of 6 matchups that the league has. So they're going to push that harder than anything and make it a storyline. Good news is that Angel Reese is going to be in the WNBA for a really long time, riding on Caitlin Clark's coattails. They have Aaron Rodgers on Netflix doing ayahuasca, and then he comes back to the NFL and he's a terrible quarterback. It's like, how is this guy still in the league? If Aaron Rodgers was any other quarterback in the entire NFL, he would have been either canceled or kicked out of the league for what he's doing. I mean, he's going and he's trying all sorts of drugs. He's doing it on a Netflix special while the season's going on. And then he comes back and he's an incompetent quarterback. He can't communicate with his receivers and he's just a shadow of himself. It's honestly kind of embarrassing, to be honest. I don't know how he feels about that documentary coming out. I don't know if they cut it in the way that he was expecting them to cut it. But Aaron Rodgers is kind of an unreal dude, and it's unfortunate for the New York Jets. Let's just put it that way. The Big Ten versus the SEC conversation is kind of a joke. The conversation shouldn't be about the teams at the top of the conference, but it should actually be about the teams at the bottom of the conference. That's what makes the SEC so much more competitive than the Big Ten. The teams at the bottom of the SEC, like Kentucky, Missouri, Florida, teams like that would absolutely dog walk teams at the bottom of the Big Ten. That's what makes the Big Ten a cakewalk, is that in any given year, you're going to get 5 or 6 in conference games that should be 40-point blowouts if your ball team's any good. The SEC, even the bad teams, are really competitive, especially if have to go to their place and travel on the road. But they all have stud athletes. They all have 5-star, 4-star athletes. They all have great coaches who are getting paid millions of dollars to do the job that they do. But the SEC as a conference, up to down, from top to bottom, operates at a completely different level than the Big Ten. The Big Ten has three three good programs. I'll say 3 good programs in the Big Ten every single year, and then the drop off is crazy. They have Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan are good pretty much every year, and then the drop off next is to like Indiana, Iowa, like Illinois. Like it's crazy. It's not even like a contest. The SEC is a way better conference than the Big Ten. Rodgers being a current NFL quarterback, putting out a documentary with him doing ayahuasca on Netflix is bizarre, insane, and crazy. Like, I can't believe that the NFL is letting this guy just be in the league and just continue to be a quarterback in the NFL. And then on top of that, it's not like he just went and did all this stuff and then he came back a great quarterback gunslinging. He came back way worse than he was before when we had seen him 2 years ago. So it's like, what is Aaron Rodgers doing? And the timing of this documentary couldn't be any worse. You see Garrett Wilson's disgruntled, nobody knows where the organization is going. It's like, yeah, your quarterback is on drugs on Netflix. That is a problem for the New York Jets organization, but also Aaron Rodgers, it's just time to retire, brother. You can't be on Netflix doing drugs and be a quarterback in the NFL. It's not how it works.